Welcome to Thoughtful Life Coach. My name is Tanya. I am a hypnotherapist, a mental health professional. Today I have the pleasure of welcoming David. David is part of a wonderful organization who's going to tell us about the program, the service they offer to the community. So David, welcome, and thank you for accepting my invitation to be here with us.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Perfect. Can you kind of tell us a little bit about you and the program?
Okay, so like you said, my name is David. I work for an organization called Adult and Teen Challenge, New England and New Jersey. Consists of about 10 sites throughout New England. New Jersey's included in that. Men's sites, women's sites, young girls' sites. We help people that are struggling with drug addiction, life controlling issues, more importantly, all kinds of life controlling issues.
Okay, so it's a mixed group that your organization is part of.
Well, yeah, we do cater to different groups, but they're all segregated. So women are with women, men are segregated with men, young girls are with young girls. It's segregated in that way. And that's obviously a tactic to keep people focused on what they need to be doing.
Can you give us an example, the type of clientele that you have, and also how would someone contact you? What do they need to be part of the program?
All right, so we deal with all demographics of people, all kinds of people, all walks of life of people. If someone's trying to get into the program, what they need to do is so our website is www.tcgreaterboston.org. They can look us up through that way. That would be the best way to look us up. And all someone has to do is reach out and contact and say, listen, I'm looking for help. I need help. Someone will reach back out, contact them, and start the process.
Okay, so do they need any health coverage, or how is this funded?
So the organization itself is totally donor supported. It's been that way since the inception of the organization, and the organization has been around since 1958. The truth of the matter is, as an organization, we have about 243 centers in the country, 1,400 in the world. So if someone can afford to pay for treatment, obviously we ask them to pay for treatment. The program itself is 15 months long, and health insurance doesn't pay for 15 months of treatment. So we operate an open door policy with being totally donor supported, generous donors. We come out, we do outreaches. That's why I'm a part of a team called the End Addiction Team. We do the outreaches, and we reach out in the communities asking people to help us with donations for communities that we service. And then we devise creative ways to raise money. Right now, the New England and New Jersey chapter of Teen Challenge has been producing handcrafted cutting boards, and they're giving them to people for their suggested donations.
Okay, so where would someone be able to find if they want to donate, if they want to support this wonderful cause?
So the best way I would say you can always get to us is through the website. If you go to the www.tcgreaterboston or tcnewengland.org, you can always go on there. You can go on there, you can find out things about the organization. You can donate, whether it be finances, time, whatever you would like to donate. You can also see testimonies. You can see the people's lives that are being changed, that you're donating to, and what's happening in their lives. So that's the best way to get in contact with us. You can also find us all over the state, all over the New England states. You'll find us at CVS's, Walmart's. Right now, I have a team that's at the Natick Mall in Natick, Massachusetts. Please come out. Guys, come out and see us. Come see what we're doing, hear firsthand some testimonies of people, and see the handcrafted cutting-edge charcuterie boards.
So can someone donate things to you as far as perishable goods or crafts? How would, besides monetary, what else can someone donate?
So we take all kinds of donations. I know that there's a few things that we usually don't take. But if someone wants to donate, the best way for them to do that is to contact our headquarters, which is in Brockton, and let them know, like, these are the things I want to donate. And if there's any discrepancy or something that wouldn't be taken, then they'd let them know right at that point.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Now, can you give us kind of like a rundown? What type of drugs and alcohol? Because we know right now, because of COVID, a lot of people has turned to that. Opium is also a really big killer in our community, in our society right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So like last year, I know that there was like over 100,000 overdose deaths. That's a small city. That's a small city that we lost of people that have overdosed. Fentanyl is a really bad problem. And the reason fentanyl is such a bad problem, not just because of what the drug does, but this stuff is being pressed and used in everything. It's being laced in marijuana. It's being pressed in the pills that are looking like other pills. So people are taking stuff thinking they're taking one thing, and it's fentanyl, and it's killing them. Fentanyl is an anesthetic. They use that when people go under for surgery. It's something that's what it's used for. So we're losing a lot of people that way. Obviously, all the other stuff, the heroin, the cocaine, all of those problems exist as well. But when we look at addictions, we got to look at a behavior issue. Yes. It's a behavioral issue. It's not just stuff. You can be addicted to anything and overdo it, abuse it. So it's about changing your mind, getting a different perspective, being educated. If you can change your mind, you can change your behavior. It has to become second nature to you. The lifestyle that you choose, you have to live a lifestyle. If you change your life and make it a lifestyle, it comes second nature to you.
I'm so happy you mentioned that, because addiction, of course, it's all mental. It's something that you crave because you're trying to suppress something else.
Yes.
One of the things that I was thinking about is how do you help someone? Is the family contact you? How would that work?
So obviously you can't help someone that doesn't want to be helped. They need to want to get help. So a family member can reach out to us, but ultimately it has to be the person that reaches out to us. Obviously, we cannot force anybody to do anything, to go anywhere. Most of these people are adults, so you can't really force them to do anything. But family members reach out to us. We try to give them the best advice we can. What I've learned through my experience is we keep loving on people. We have to keep loving on people. We have to keep presenting it to them. We keep bringing it to them, and putting it before them, and hopefully they have a small moment of clarity to make that split-second decision, and then the work will begin and start to change them, and it'll put them in a place where, this is a good decision. So,
what other base? Because the way you are. The verbiage that you use seems like it is merged with another type of spirituality or something like that.
So the organization itself is a faith-based organization. So, treating people for different situations. The best approach that I've come across that I see is a holistic approach. So as a human being, I'm a lot of different things, have a lot of different, if you want to call it, compartments. And the spiritual compartment is a huge one. I believe that we're all spirit beings to some, we're spirit beings. So most people, when they go into treatment, I know when I went into treatment, you can deal with all the physical and the things that are tangible, right? If you leave the spirit man unchecked, you wind up with a gaping hole that needs to be filled, and it will get filled with anything. My greatest analogy to that situation is if you see a pothole in the street, it's going to get filled. It can either get filled with cans, bags, and garbage, or you can call DPW and have them come out, put crush and run, pat it down, and then put some asphalt on it and do it right. So when you don't deal with the spirit man, and when you want to deal with them, you have to deal with them right. And that means you have to get in touch with your spirituality.
So is that what the core of the program?
Absolutely, that's the core of the program. It's biblically based. If anyone has any, knows any history, AA, NA, all of those, the step work that's being done in those programs are biblically based. Dr. Bob and Bill W. found a relationship with God and then began to lean on each other in that newfound strength that they found in God. And they began to lean on one another and help one another out. And that's how that whole program began. We do that kind of work, but we do it more closely related to the scriptures themselves, right out of the book. And once again, it's about educating people. So in the program itself, we educate. There's a curriculum, things that we work on, relapse prevention. We use life coaching, recovery coaching. We have counselors that we use. So we're doing a well-rounded thing because you're dealing with a person that needs to be dealt with different compartments. We got a holistic approach.
And different levels.
Absolutely.
Okay. What if someone is not spiritual? What if someone doesn't know, because there's a lot of people who never gone to church, doesn't know anything about the Bible. How would the program or organization fit the needs of that person? So
someone not recognizes or realize that, or know the spiritual thing about it, doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So it's there. That doesn't stop anyone from getting help because, like I said, there's life coaching, recovery coaching. There's clinical things that are going on as well, and we know that those things are proven to work as well. The program still has, like I said, spiritual aspects to it, biblical procedures, things that we're going by, just like step work. If someone's not spiritual and they don't feel like they want to believe, they don't believe, that's fine. The work can still be done. In my experience, I see that when people come in, when they give it a full try and they allow all of the process to work, because it's a process, they get the greatest success.
That's perfect. Now you mentioned yourself as an example.
Yes.
Can you kind of walk you through, if it's okay with you, can you kind of walk us through your own experience with the organization and how it changed your view?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I struggled, just like everybody else that goes to the organization, I struggled with addiction issues. And I had found myself at a point that I just kind of didn't want to live. I was just tired of living that way. And I had dealt with other programs before. And I came to the realization, that I wasn't dealing with that spirit man. So for me, when I cried out, in a sense, and someone introduced me to the program, I cried out. When I found out that the program itself was, the core of it was spiritual, I knew that's where I needed to be. Because I was already crying out for that. And so I knew it was where I needed to be. So I entered the place, I entered Teen Challenge, Adult and Teen Challenge, I entered, and I just said, you know what? Whatever this process is, I'm gonna open myself up and follow the process. I can't give it a try unless I'm really gonna give it a try, because I'll just be shorting myself. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna go into this thing, totally open to whatever it is. Every way that I tried to do things didn't work. So I said, you know what? I gotta try someone else. I gotta try a different way to do this. So I went into the process, open arms, and the process was awesome. It was really awesome. I went in defeated, angry, and today I sit before you, a man filled with joy. I know my purpose. I know exactly who I am. And no one can tell me otherwise. I know exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. And what I'm supposed to be doing is exactly this. I'm supposed to be, I didn't get deliverance from that stuff just so that I could be delivered. I got delivered so that I can help others get delivered. That's my purpose. My purpose is to point others to a way that they can get freedom from addiction.
Perfect. Well, now, when we think about freedom, the program itself bring you from point A to point B?
Yes.
Or is it the person who's willing to change, bring themselves from point A to point B? So
it's combined. It's combined. It's not just the The person has to want to do that, but then there's the process that's there. Like I told you, this organization's been around since 1958. This is proven stuff that they're doing here. So, you have to have a willing person, and they need to be willing to follow the process. Listen, the truth of the matter is, as people, we don't always want to do what someone else is telling us to do. We want to do what we want to do,
Yes.
But sometimes what we want to do is not the healthiest thing for us, And it's good to have people, whoever they may be in your life, that can hold you accountable, that can call you on things, and go, listen, the way you're going is not right. Here, try this process, And I tell people that are struggling, and I try to introduce them to this organization in the process. I tell them all the time, listen, give it a try. If you don't like, you can always go back to what you've been doing. It's going to be there, but why not give this a try? But give it everything that you got. Give it a real try, And most of the people that do find what they're looking for. They go, you know what? I didn't know that this existed, but it does.
Perfect. And sometimes it's not so much, you mentioned that you were thirsty. So your spirit person, your spirit part was thirsty.
Yes.
What if someone doesn't know what that is? Not everybody understand that.
You're right.
My soul is thirsty.
You're right. So, doing this kind of work, you get around a bunch of different people. You're dealing with a lot of people. You begin to recognize movement, signs,
Yes.
in other people. So you get to see some of these things. And the only thing you can do is a form of education. They don't know what it is, and you just try to gently, lightly point them to some things. One of the things I like to use, I like to never tell somebody something. I don't want to tell you. I make a suggestion, or I let you speak it and talk it. And most people answer their own question as they begin to divulge and they talk and they're speaking and then I just kind of, did you hear what you just said? No one wants to be told what to do, but you can kind of lightly nudge and lead and, I can point in a direction. And that's the whole thing. It's just not telling someone what to do, because people get defensive when you try to tell them what to do.
Of course.
So you just try to lightly guide them, try to point them. I like to consider what we do in myself as, at nighttime when you're in your house, I'm that little night light in the hallway. Just want to be a little night light, just to give you a little bit of illumination to wherever it is you're trying to get to. I just want to light up a little bit of space so that you don't trip and fall. So
that would be the program.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So your organization is this missing piece to whatever it is that's going to help you into the right path. Not only to find you, but to find whom you should be.
Absolutely.
And then continue in that path.
Absolutely.
Have you ever encountered someone who relapsed from it?
Relapsed? Yeah, we encounter people that relapse. I went through treatment. I relapsed myself. I went through treatment and I relapsed. And once again, so I relapsed, and then I had to go, right, and refocus. And then I had to stop and look, and go. And I came back to Teen Challenge when I did that, Adult and Teen Challenge. I came back to refocus, and when I did that, I had to look and go, so why did this take place? You examine these things. You got to examine these things. Here's the hard questions. Here's the looking in the mirror. What happened? And I found that for me, this is just for me, that it was a lax in my spiritual disciplines. The things that were fortifying me, losing sight of those things. Because we get so busy in life. Life gets so busy, but we have to make sure that we keep the core things intact. And no matter what's going on, we have to be able to tap into that stuff. Whatever the source, if that's our source, we have to be able to tap into that in the midst of anything. Every storm has an eye, where there's peace and calm and all of that. But it's in the midst of a storm. You got to be able to tap into that. You got to be able to find that place.
Yes.
Yeah?
Perfect. Thank you so much, David.
Absolutely.
I truly enjoy your presence here. I think the organization that you work with is amazing. It's doing a wonderful job, and I'm hoping that our viewers will be able to donate and help, because it's been going for a very long time and it's going stronger.
Yep.
And hopefully you'll get a lot of people who come out and help. So if you know someone who is fighting addiction, even if they get knocked out every so often, that's going to happen, because addiction it's a personal thing, and whatever that person is fighting, until he or she is able to kind of not just cover it, fill it up, like David said, that person's going to relapse. And being patient with that person would
Absolutely.
also be the best thing to do. Do you think that's true, David?
Yeah, absolutely. I believe in people. I believe in mankind. I believe in humankind. I know there's some crazy stuff out there, but I still believe in humankind. I believe in people, and if someone stumbles, I don't care how many times they stumble. I should be there to help them up. Everybody should feel like that. I know people don't, and these are my views, obviously, but I believe that someone should be there to pick them up. If anyone tells me that they got where they got or where they're at without anybody's help, I look at them and say, I don't think you're being truthful. Someone was there for you. Someone encouraged you. Someone nudged you. They made a way for you, right? So guess what? I don't care if someone falls 1,000,000 times, there should be somebody waiting there to help them up when they decide to get up.
Yes. Thank you.
Yep.
So again, please find David at the Natick Mall. They are there right now. This is the season to kind of reach out in whatever you can give. Even if you are dealing with addiction and you do need the help right now, you certainly can go and talk to David separately. He'll try to bring you into the right path. It's never too late. No matter how much you have to restart again, it's never too late. Once again, David, thank you so much for coming in and talk to us about this program. I have seen so many people that I have encountered in my own practice. They do fall, and sometimes they fall harder the second time. And having someone to pick them up, having a therapist around is always the best way for them, the best step for them. If you have any questions, again, there would be the David information will be on our program.
Yep. I can give it to them again if you.
Yes, please.
www.tcnewenglandnewjersey.org. You can just go to that website. You can look up Adult and Teen Challenge. You can Google it. You'll find us there as well. And all people need to do is, if you need help, all you need to do is make a phone call. We have available beds. We have available space. So if people are looking, please reach out. You don't have to suffer in silence. There are people that understand, know what you're going through, and are here for you.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
And the silence is really key, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Because if you're going through this and you think no one cares, no one is going to be there, that's not true. There's so many programs out there waiting to help you, waiting to take the road with you. So once again, I want to thank you all for coming, for watching Thoughtful Life Coach. Until we meet again, stay true to yourself.